The Sleepless Graveyard. They say every town has its secrets, but in the quiet outskirts of Raven's Hollow, the secret was buried 6 feet under, and it refused to stay there. For 40 years, one man had guarded it, a graveyard caretaker named Samuel Griggs. Samuel was old now, his hair gray, his back bent, his eyes bloodshot and swollen. People in the nearby town always whispered, "He never sleeps, not even for a minute." And it was true. Samuel had not slept for 4 decades. He lived in a shack inside the cemetery, his lantern burning through every night, his footsteps echoing among the tombstones. But no one ever asked him why, until one reporter, curious about the legend, found him sitting beside a crumbling mausoleum one cold November night. His hands were trembling, his eyes wide open, like a man stuck between life and madness. When asked why he never slept, Samuel's voice cracked as he spoke. "Because when I close my eyes, the graves begin to open." The reporter laughed nervously at first, thinking it was nothing more than the rambling of an old man. But Samuel insisted, dragging him through the rows of graves, pointing to certain cracked stones, the soil darker, looser. "I've seen it," Samuel whispered, his lantern shaking. "I tried once. I slept for just an hour, and when I woke, the ground was split. Hands reaching out. The dead don't want to stay buried." He confessed how, years ago, he was just a young caretaker when he first heard the sounds. Scratches beneath the soil, muffled cries. At first, he thought he was imagining it. But then, one night, while half asleep, he heard the unmistakable sound of nails clawing against wood. When he opened the coffin, he found not a body, but something in between. Rotting flesh that still twitched, eyes rolled back, a mouth whispering words he could not understand. From that night forward, Samuel swore never to let the graveyard rest unattended. His sleeplessness was the only thing keeping the dead from rising. The reporter tried to brush it off as folklore, until midnight struck. The silence of the graveyard grew heavier, the lantern flickered. And then the sound began. A hollow knock, then another, and another, coming from beneath the earth. The soil shifted, the stones rattled. The air filled with the unbearable stench of decay. The reporter froze in terror as Samuel dropped to his knees, pressing his hands against the fresh dirt. "Stay down. Stay down, please, stay down." His voice cracked with desperation. And then the earth split open. A hand, gray, skeletal, covered in worms, broke through the ground. Another soon followed. All around them, the graves began to stir, the dead restless, their whispers rising like a chorus of damned souls. The reporter screamed, stumbling back, but Samuel only raised his lantern higher, chanting in a broken, guttural voice. His eyes were wild, glowing with madness, or perhaps with knowledge no man should carry. "I told you," he whispered as more hands clawed upward. "This graveyard never sleeps, and neither can I." That night, the reporter fled Raven's Hollow, never to return. His article was never published, but he left behind one note in his journal, found years later. The dead do not rest in Raven's Hollow. They wait. And only the sleepless one keeps them from walking among us. And to this day, if you walk past that graveyard, you may see the faint glow of a lantern weaving between the tombstones. The old caretaker still watching, still awake. Because the moment he closes his eyes, the graves begin to open.